Welcome to The Trend, our very new talk show. I'm Belle Hernandez.
And I'm Naiva Reynoso. Thank you so much for watching our very first episode of The Trend. And on this show, we're going to talk to you about everything that's trending with the community, with Latinos, with celebrities, with politics, with fitness. It's all going to be covered right here.
And remember, on The Trend, it is about our community. It is about all of us. So we welcome you to please join our Facebook page, The Trend Talk Show. Ask us questions, suggest guests. We want to hear from you because, as you know, Latinos are trending, and our show is about what is trending.
Right.
Us. And so make sure you also follow us on Instagram and Twitter, The Trend Talk Show. And please join us in talking all about what's going on.
And speaking about what's going on with you lately? I know that you've been traveling a lot.
Well, yes, traveling. I wish it was the world, but it is, at least it's California. My husband, just published his first novel, The Dead of Summer, and it's about at the core violence against women.
Oh, wow.
And so it takes place in the desert, and it's got a lot of really great characters. Right. So we've been going to book signings, and just last week we went to an honor that was given to him in his hometown. His hometown is Calexico, California, and he got the Distinguished Artist Award.
Wow.
And so it was wonderful. It's just wonderful to connect with everyone. I kind of feel like Hillary when she says, oh, I go and I meet all these people, because that's what happens when you do book signings. But of course, I'm not comparing myself to what she went through.
But you are married to a powerful man, just like she is, because yes. Enrique Castillo is not only an author of this book, but he's also a well-known actor. So tell us a little bit, for those of you that may not know who he is. Well, you should. Of course, you've seen him on a lot of movies and television, but tell us a little bit about him.
Well, Enrique Castillo is an actor and writer, but he's mostly recognized for his role in one movie and one TV show. The TV show is Weeds, which he did three seasons of, and then the movie, which he did in 1993, is called Blood In, Blood Out.
Wow.
And people still, they recognize him so much all around the world. He even gets fan mails from Africa or from Sweden and all that.
Awesome.
So when we go to the book readings, it's fun because his fans get to see him. But anyway, that's what we've been doing. And what have you been doing?
Oh my God. Well, as you know, I'm a reporter, so I've been all over the place covering the presidential debates. I traveled to Las Vegas for that last debate. Then I also covered the election itself, which was heart-pounding, especially here in California, because we know that over 60% of the population voted for Hillary Clinton. So it was kind of a nail-biter in those last minutes before it was announced that Bill Clinton, look at me, Donald Trump won the election. I also covered the peaceful protests, because they were peaceful. Over 10,000 people congregated in downtown, and I thought it was amazing, Belle, because in my day, I went to UCLA. In my day, I participated in marches.
And I participated in high school. So I wanted to get out there, but you actually did make it out there.
I did. And also, I've covered a lot of marches, but what I loved, what I thought was so beautiful about this particular march was I saw people from all over, because in the marches in the past, it's usually only, Black Lives Matter, African Americans. For immigrant rights, it's Latinos. In this one, I saw people from all over. There was older white ladies. There was African Americans, because they're there for Black Lives Matter,
right.
Members of the LGBT community, Latinos because of the anti-immigrant movement.
It was beautiful to see those.
Beautiful, feminists, millennials, and they were all coming together. It's like, it's true, we are stronger together, all of us. So that was amazing. And besides that, I've been preparing for my trip to Hawaii.
Well, okay, so you're going to be traveling too, so hey, that's great.
But there's one painful thing that comes with traveling to Hawaii.
What?
A diet. I need
to fit into
because I need to fit into my bikini, and Brazilian bikini wax, which is very painful but worth it. $40.
Oh, no.
Worth it, ladies.
Never had one. It sounds really painful.
It is.
But
hey,
then I still.
I don't want to do a show and tell in Hawaii, so I'd rather be safe than sorry.
So what is going on with the elections at your house? I mean, you're married to an Anglo man. Of course, he's not racist, I know, right?
Well, he married a Latina. He better not be racist. It's interesting because I think these elections are separating a lot of families. There's a lot of people that are for Donald Trump, not particularly because he's, said very mean comments, but because of his policy issues. And there's a lot of people that are pro Hillary. But I'm concentrating on the holidays. I'm concentrating on tamales.
We need to move on, right? Because now the holidays are coming. Yes. So, what is a holiday tradition for you?
Well, I brought my little holiday tradition.
Did you?
Who has one of these? Mommy's around, an elf on the shelf.
No.
So this little guy was invented by a mom and her 2 daughters. It's like $40, and
$40 for that little thing?
you put it on the idea is you put it on the shelf, and it watches your kids every day, and it goes and flies to the North Pole and tells Santa if you've been naughty or nice. And every day you have to change, the parent has to kind of change the location because the little elf flew to the North Pole and came back. But what's weird, or what I'm not for, is that now they're selling outfits for the elf on the shelf. So it's very commercial.
Okay, but that's really creepy because moms are putting the elves to spy on their kids. It sounds creepy to me. That's a nice tradition for you?
What I like about it is that it is an interactive thing that you could do with your kids. It's a conversation that you can have with your kids. They have fun with it. It's part of the magic of Christmas.
So
and I'm also pro the fact that a woman invented this in 2004 and made, she's a millionaire now. So I love the fact that a woman was behind it, not like Mattel or a big corporation. It was a woman out of her garage that decided to start this, and now she's a millionaire.
Right, but he watches to see if they've been naughty or nice, right?
Right. She's preparing them for what's to come.
Well, that's really creepy.
Government.
In my house, if we were naughty, it was the chancla. It wasn't about, the little elf telling them. My mom knew what we were doing.
So it was like the belt on the shelf.
Not
the elf on the shelf.
Yes.
All right. I think it's time to move on.
Okay, so we're coming up next because we're going to introduce, our show will have a weekly co-host. So we're going to introduce our new co-host, our guest co-host in the next segment. Her name is Elizabeth Reese. She is a social media influencer, but this girl is just not about what's on the internet. She knows what's around and her world, and she's got some strong opinions about her world. So stay tuned, and we'll meet up with Elizabeth Reese.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
Salud.
Salud.
Excuse me, step out of the way. Sir, move. Damn it, get back. Damn it.
Who is she?
I said no pictures.
Welcome back to The Trend, and joining us today is our co-host for the day, Elizabeth Ruiz. She's a very beautiful Cuban Instagram celebrity. She has over 300 followers. She's a content creator. She's very sassy, but she's very politically savvy. So we want to thank you for joining us here on The Trend today,
Thank
Elizabeth.
you guys for having me.
So you were born in Cuba, then you moved to Miami when you were a baby, and now you're here in Los Angeles. You've been moving quite a bit. Tell us about the decision to move here to the West Coast.
So when I was born in Cuba, when I was 4 years old, I moved to Miami. Pretty much born and raised there. Mm-hmm. And then throughout my whole life growing up, I always wanted to be on TV. And like my mom tried as much as she could, but she didn't really have the resources. Coming from another country, she didn't know too much. So she tried the most that she can. Then when I got into middle school and high school, I was in the morning announcements and participating in all that stuff. After I graduated high school, I actually went into college to be a nurse because as a Latina, like your parents want you to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or you're a disgrace to the family. So I actually went to college. I was paying my way through college because I had so much going on with my financial aid. I wasn't a citizen back then and stuff. And then, so I was working 2 jobs. I was working at an attorney's office and I was working at Hooters. And it was just so stressful. And I was like, I don't know why I'm stressing myself out so much to do something that I don't want to do. But the crazy part is that I was in honors classes when I was in school. So my parents were freaking out because I was like, I'm going to leave college and move to LA. And they're like, what are you doing? You stay in college? Like, this is crazy. And I was like, no. So I packed my bags. I was 20 years old. I packed my bags. I moved to LA, and I haven't looked back since.
Wow. And now you're an Instagram celebrity.
Right. You're an Instagram celebrity, but you came here to be an actress, and you stumbled onto creating content on Instagram.
Yes.
And now you have all of these followers, but how did you decide I'm going to create content? Because a lot of actors, they just want to be on screen and they don't talk about creating content. So what made you decide that?
Well, what made me decide that was, first of all, a lot of people started doing it, and it was creating like this. Social media has kind of taken its own platform where like people are more on the internet than watching TV nowadays because they're always on the go and stuff like that. And I figured, if I'm going to be an actress, I have to show people that I'm a good actress, or how else are they going to know? In audition rooms? No. Right. So I just felt create my own content, and that's what I did. I got with a group of people every single day. We got together, came up with ideas.
So this is like for real. It's like a job.
Yeah, this is our job because, and we even tell ourselves like we have meetings, we have ideas like, okay, what else can we do now? Okay, what props can we use? Because this is what we want to do. So if nobody's going to give us a job, we're going to create our own jobs.
And you've done a lot of comedy, which is something you didn't think you were going to fall into. But you're really good. I've seen a lot of your videos, and you're very funny.
Thank you.
I mean, would you consider becoming, not necessarily a comedian, but being in comedies as opposed to dramas?
I guess the comedy ended up working for me because in the beginning, I just wanted to do like the real dramatic acting, like throw a chair and scream and cry. But
the novela acting,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Novela comedy.
Latina, you know? What are you doing to me? So I thought, like, since I already have a big personality, just take it, act with it, and then eventually other roles will come, you know?
Right.
And that's just how it started. Like, we just got together, made videos, and like people started really liking them, and different pages started posting them. People were writing like, "We love you." I was like,
what's the video that's gotten the most views?
Well, I actually have 3 videos that have gotten over 1 million views, and one of them was about how girls are used to getting their way.
I saw that one.
And it's just kind of like, we're like, oh, there'll be like 10 chairs out, and I'm like, oh, I need to sit. And the one guy that's taking up one chair, he's like, okay, you can have my chair. So I was like, okay, thanks. It's just comedy. Like some people are like, well, I'm not like that. You cannot take my chair. But, you know,
It's comedy.
Right. I'm like, I told him, like, it's comedy.
But you've done all these videos, and you have hundreds of videos, right?
Yeah.
But you've also you've worked on as an actress for other people.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us some of the
projects
that you've done.
So I did an independent film called Forgiveness. I had just like a couple lines in there, and that was cool. I worked with one of the guys that actually plays a detective in Narcos now. And I did a short film with Snoop Dogg called G7. I was the lead actress in that.
wow.
CeeLo Green had a TV show that aired on TBS. I did the first episode on that as a guest star. And I actually worked on a web series that got over millions of views. So that's just some of the stuff that I've done, nothing major. I booked a commercial. I booked a Nissan commercial this
Recently?
year. Yes, this year.
For you.
Gardena
Felicidades.
Nissan.
Natural,
Thank you.
right? It's
Yes.
national, I mean.
Yeah.
It's national.
So it was a
Those are the ones that
Gardena
pay.
Nissan.
Oh, yeah.
I went to McDonald's one too, but yeah.
Awesome.
So you have, like I said, 300,000 Instagram followers, and that number keeps growing, I mean, day by day.
Yeah, they grow day by day, right? Your
Yeah.
numbers.
I
Yeah,
want,
watch that.
you need to give us some tips to up our Instagram
Yeah.
game. What do we need to do?
So first you have to decide what audience do you want to target. Do you want to target kids, adults? Like, what is it that you want people to see? You know, because depending on that, that's the type of content that you're going to post. Before, I wanted to target like maybe men, so I was posting more of like modeling pictures, bikini and stuff like that. Whereas now I'm trying to go into like really acting, and I'm getting more young followers and stuff like that by posting my skits. Also like hashtagging, a lot of hashtagging works.
What are the most effective hashtags? Is it like a saying? Is it like hashtagging somebody's name?
Hashtag
I
follow
feel
the
like-
trend.
Yeah, hashtag follow the trend.
Follow the trend. Yeah, exactly. So if you post something here, you'll put hashtag follow the trend, hashtag the trend, hashtag Los Angeles, hashtag Hollywood, stuff like that.
And also locations. You know what's kind
Yes.
of creepy about locations? I've been at restaurants, right? And then you can kind of tag your location.
Yes.
And I've been in restaurants where I see a couple or whatever, I'm like, they look either famous or they're weird. I want to kind of spy on them, and then I'll look at the location to see if they've posted anything, and sometimes they
Wow.
have.
Yeah.
So then it's like
Big Brother, like we were talking
Big
about.
Brother. It's
With
kind
Yelp on
of
the
scary,
show.
but it's reality. I mean,
It
if you're not living in a cave or under a rock, you just kind of have to accept it and go with it. Especially in our industry, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's part of our
exactly.
reality.
Your industry is about like promoting yourself and like, you know, what you're doing. People always want to know what you're doing next. So
Right.
it's always,
Well, you know, influencers played a big part in these elections.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but also bringing it to politics, you are a millennial, and you have a certain view of the choices we had and your reason for voting or slash not voting. Tell us about that.
Right. But also she's a Cubana from Florida, which, as we know,
Yeah.
Florida played a huge role in the elections. We thought it was going to go blue. It went red. So, yeah, talk to us about...
Yeah, but and the millennial part is what I'm really interested in because we talk about a lot of millennials didn't vote.
Right.
Yes.
And are you in that crowd?
Definitely did not vote. I actually don't know much about politics. I'm not a politician, never really been interested in that. But I did watch the presidential debates. And as myself, I can only speak for myself, I personally didn't vote as much as a lot of my friends didn't vote because we felt like the two candidates were not the best candidates. And it just wasn't like, I feel like you should stand up for what you agree, and I didn't agree to what either candidate was.
And what do you say to people that say, because you didn't vote, I mean, who knows if you're going to vote for Hillary or Trump, we don't know.
Yeah.
But that they say that because you didn't vote and you could have voted for Hillary, now we have Trump. What do you say?
Yeah, a lot of people do say that, but it's like, it's a free country and I'm entitled to my opinion and to my actions, you know? So nobody can force me to vote or to not vote or to vote for this person or that person. And that's why it's a free country. You know, people want to like say it's a free country, but then if you do something that it's not to their morals or to their standards, then they want to like be mad at you and like, you know, come for you. But it's like, that was my decision as a citizen to not vote.
And did you get kind of a feeling right now, we're in California, kind of live in a little bubble of the liberal bubble because 60% voted for Clinton. Yeah. You lived in Florida where a lot of people voted for Donald Trump. So can you maybe give us a sense of what maybe some of your relatives were thinking of,
definitely.
of Trump?
I feel like maybe in the Midwest, people mostly voted probably for race and stuff like that. I don't think that people in Florida voted as much for race and like as racism and stuff like that. I think their main concern was the economy. We are just kind of tired of living in an economy that's not growing and prosperous. You know, since Obama came into office, our United States debt tripled by like 15 trillion or something. And I just feel like that people just want change. I don't think it was more of Trump and versus Hillary. People just want to change. People want like money. People are tired of like every day struggling.
That's a debatable question, is that whether we are better off now than we were then. But and if you get the people on the left, they say, yeah, we are. But then you get the people who are Republican, they say, and conservative, they say no. And that's a debate that is still not, we don't have the full details.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, our next guest is actor Antonio Jaramillo. You've seen him on a lot of different shows, on Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns. He's also been J-Lo's baby daddy on Shades of Blue on NBC. And he's going to talk to us about politics, about his roles, and so much more. So don't go away. Keep following The Trend. We'll see you after the break.
Miguel,
Hi.
you're out.
Yeah. Prosecution called my lawyer. They cut a deal. She thinks they uncovered something they didn't want people to hear in court.
Welcome back. And now we have Antonio Jaramillo here with us today. And you've seen him on Devious Maids, Dallas, and you've seen him in J-Lo's Shades of Blue as the baby daddy. And now you're going to see him in Notorious coming up soon. He's going to tell us all about it, right? Welcome, Antonio.
Hello. Hi, ladies. How are you? Nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. We're so excited to have you here. And we want to know a little bit about what prompted you to be an actor.
It was rather an accident, really.
And also where you grew up.
I was born in Tijuana, Mexico. And I was there for most of my childhood. And then I moved to San Diego when I was a teenager. I was about 15 or so. I went to San Diego to find some relatives and reconnected with family, blah, blah, blah. Make a long story short, the theater found me. I was a troubled young man, and I didn't know where I was going to go or how to go because, you know, growing up in an orphanage was not easy. But the theater found me, and it gave me tools to be a better human being and to understand those around me better. So I stayed in the theater learning on stage. I was like, wow, this is really cool. It's making me a better person, understanding my fellow, human being. And then things just kept progressing. And then I got opportunities to do more stage work. And then later I was hired here at the Geffen to work at the Geffen Playhouse in Brentwood. And then other things came up, TV shows, movies, and here I am.
And I knew about you, the first time I heard about you was when you did a movie with my husband,
Yes,
Enrique Castillo, which
yes.
was shot in the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
But, so you became an actor, and what was your first gig?
My first gig, well, I did a lot of gigs on stage that people wouldn't know because stage comes and goes and it's just in people's memories because it's not recorded. But my first role on the screen, I think it was Veronica Mars. I did like a small little thing for Veronica Mars. And then after that, it was, I think, Charm. I did Charm. And then other shows, all the CSIs. And
I'm
yes.
sorry. I
No.
really need to ask you about the orphanage because I think that's something that a lot of people don't really talk about out in the open. People that have experienced that have had great success. Tell me about that experience and what can you tell us that a lot of people may not know about what it's like to live in an orphanage, because we, especially in this country, we kind of relate it to Little Orphan Annie, or we make it seem maybe not as bad as it is. So tell us, what was that like for you?
Well, we have to make it a 1 hour special. No. It's, first of all, I like to get it out in the open right away, because sometimes people know and then they surprise me, so I just come out and say it.
Right.
It helps me because it wasn't easy and it wasn't pleasant, but it is what it is. It's the life that was given to me, and here I am now. I'm grateful. And I like to say it in case there's other kids out there that come from an orphanage or a foster home and they have no aspirations to be anything because they have no role models. Mm-hmm. So it's good to say these things, because then they look at you and they go, oh, maybe if I work hard, if I have the discipline to find something I like and learn and get focused, I can actually do something in life. Because, kids need role models,
right.
Good parenting. And coming from an orphanage, I don't blame my parents. It's just difficult situations for them. They were young and they couldn't take care of the kids. So I'm in an orphanage and I had a place to sleep and food, but it wasn't, it wasn't Disneyland.
Right.
And then you got to work with J-Lo.
Yes, and then that was it. And then she found out I was in an orphanage and she said, bring him to me.
She wanted to adopt you. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Wait, so you say that acting found you, right?
Yes.
So when you started acting, did you feel it was going to be a hobby, or did you think you were going to get this far?
It was never really a hobby either. It was something that was actually helping me be a better person. Because, like I said, I was a troubled young man and I was very defensive.
Right.
'Cause
Angry.
Angry.
Right.
So everything was like lashing out, either physically or verbally.
Right.
And so the theater taught me things that make me a better person. I said, this is good. It was like therapy without knowing I was in a therapist session.
I guess you had to understand each character and humanize them, and I guess you can apply that in real life.
Well, it helped me when I was reading the roles and playing another human being and being able to use me and open up, but with the shield of using the role. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I could be open and do anything because I'm playing this role and I'm learning and I'm moving and blah, blah, and I just liked it. And now it's become my profession, my way of life, and I'm very grateful for the life I have. I've had great opportunities. Playing baby J-Lo's baby daddy on Shades
But
of Blue.
seriously, tell us about working with J-Lo.
Oh, right.
Was there any chisme that you would like to share?
There's a lot of chismes. I could tell, but
Baby daddy. Baby daddy has a
You
lot
paying
of
child
chisme.
support?
oh gosh, yeah, child support is expensive. No, we had a great time. We had good chemistry on the show. People really enjoyed our work together, and it was a great time on set. It was a wonderful experience for me, really, because I know so many people wanted this role, and for them or for her to choose me over so many other actors. So it's a privilege, really, to work with her. I admired her. She's such a workaholic. She's so professional. She's so successful in so many fields in our industry and a role model for so many young women. So it was a tremendous experience.
And does she talk normal? I mean, is she a diva? What is it like to be around the Jennifer Lopez universe?
I just saw her as the character she was playing in the show in my relationship to her.
Right.
So even though there was paparazzi around her all the time and security or whatever, I don't get that interfere with my work. I can only see her as my the mother of my child, and
Right.
and me being her baby daddy and working things out in the show as it pertains to the story. So I try not to let those things interfere. The same way that when I was working with Benicio and on Savages and Oliver Stone, I mean, I have so much respect for Oliver Stone and Benicio. I look up to him. I mean, really, he's one of the actors I really, really like. But I couldn't look at him as from the outside. I had to just see him as the role he's playing in the movie and his relationship to me. That's the only way that I can work. Otherwise, I get all.
That's very professional.
There's another meaty role that you prepared. You play a narco, right?
No, cartel leader.
Yeah,
A cartel leader.
There's
which is
a
like
difference.
The big daddy of the narcos.
Big daddy.
Tell me about that role. And did you have any kind of reservations because of what our president-elect has been saying about Latinos or Mexicans specifically being, drug dealers and rapists? Did you have any reservations about taking on a role that perpetuates this stereotype?
That's a very good question, because when I was doing the role, I was actually trying to interpret a lot of the things that Mr. Trump said, but turn them over on their head, to show maybe a little more charm, a little more humor, something else that is not expected. I always try to humanize these roles. To me, it's challenging, but it's also they're a person. They're somebody's son. They're somebody's husband. They have kids. They're somebody's friend. I mean, they were a child once. So I try to go deeper into the psychology of the human being and what made them lead that kind of life.
I have a question about, you've done so much, TV, theater, and film and all. What is it that you haven't done that you want to do in the industry, in your career?
I've been writing lately because I think our own community, Latinos, we have to produce our own projects.
Right.
Because there are a lot of opportunities that we don't get. And we don't get, when we get certain opportunities, they're limited. They're very general.
Yeah.
Like these narco characters. You read them
Or
and you're
stereotyped.
Yeah, stereotyped. You read them and you're like, come on, we
Just
can do
so
better
typical,
than this.
right.
It's like they're rewriting the same script over and over
But then
again.
you read who wrote it and you're like, oh, okay, well, I get it.
Right.
They're still stuck in so we have to produce our own projects. So I'm doing a little writing so that I can possibly in the future produce and write my own stuff.
What's your mantra for success? What's the tidbit that kind of keeps that train going? I mean, when you wake up in the morning, it's not easy for humans to wake up in the morning.
I'm going to say something that's very personal, but I will say it because it came to me and I have to be truthful to myself and say it. But if I have to say what mine is, it's a sense of self-identity. I need to identify myself because of where I was left. So I'm still always constantly identifying myself, not only as a man, but as a Mexican man in this country where I'm seen as a second best human being or whatever. So it's self-identity. I think just be disciplined. Find something you like.
Right.
And just be very disciplined and focused, and it'll take time, but just do it. Just do it. I mean, that's what I do.
And you did it, and you're doing it.
Thank you, Antonio, for joining us. Make sure you catch him on Notorious on December 8th on ABC. And now for our next guest, Didi Garcia Blaze. She is former military, and she's also a political beast. Yes, she has formed groups. She was a former Republican, then she went independent, and then she was a fervent Hillary supporter. She's going to tell us all about that, because she's in the know when it comes to politics. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and welcome to our next guest, Didi Garcia Blaze. She's a strong woman inside and out. She founded the largest Hispanic Republican group, Somos Republicanos, which then turned into Somos Independientes when she left her Republican affiliation. And now she is the founder of the Tequila Party, which is a movement to counteract the Tea Party. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me, Belle.
And so tell us about the Tequila Party. What is this? It's not about liquor, it's about politics.
The Tequila Party was birthed out of Arizona to counter the Tea Party. As you know, we have Arpaio, we had the anti-immigrant laws there.
In Arizona.
Right, and it was our fight to fight back, movement-wise, and to get Raza motivated to vote.
And it still exists? Like anyone can join the Tequila Party?
Right, but we've evolved to Somos Independents.
Okay. I see.
Because we want everybody, but it is led by independent registered voters.
And by women, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's all
Correct.
women.
So I understand that you switched political parties. You were a Republican. What made you switch? I mean, was there something that happened that kind of clicked that said this isn't the party for me anymore?
The anti-immigrant issue, the laws that were being promoted by Republicans, the large government ideas by Marco Rubio, Republicans are supposed to be for smaller government, the pro-life hypocrisy that I saw, they were calling immigrant babies anchor babies.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you dehumanize a baby?
Right.
And that's supposed to be the Republican Party? I had to leave it.
And the Republican Party won this election. They totally won. So break it down as far as how you think that happened when we had all of these Latinos who were so empowered and they came out in numbers, and yet Hillary still lost.
I think Hillary lost in large part because of the Electoral College voting.
Right.
How does that work?
Well, basically, every state is assigned a certain number of electors based on population. Hillary didn't lose, in my view. She won the popular vote by almost 2 million.
Wow.
So people who think that she lost, they're delusional, in my view. Another reason why I think Donald Trump won, Belle, is because now we're finding out from the NSA, the National Security Agency, where they have confirmations that Russia has interfered with the United States election process.
Well, that was the rumor, but are you saying that that is now even
Confirmed.
more confirmed?
Before I came here, 2 hours before, the NSA chief is on the record for stating that Russia did in fact interfere with the election process.
So do you think he will be impeached? I mean, is that an impeachable thing?
I don't know. I think that Donald Trump has been extremely chummy with Vladimir Putin. I think they're going to probably find some shady things going on, and I hope that we have congressional hearings to do a full investigation.
You're really well researched on politics and trends, voting trends, etc. One of the alarming things that I found is that they were expecting all of the Latinos to go out and vote for Hillary Clinton because we tend to vote Democrat. But a lot of these polls were saying that a third of Latino voters actually voted for Donald Trump. Do you think that's true? Is that the case? And if so, why did so many vote for Donald Trump?
That's inaccurate data. The Washington Post just came out with a new story sort of embracing Latino decisions. Latino decisions in
And that's the group, the polling group.
the polling group. And
Right.
what they do is they micro-target our communities in high Hispanic populated states. And what's different about Latino decisions that is different than Anglo polling is that they have Spanish speakers because 30% of the Latino voter speak Spanish and they're more comfortable with that. So that's inaccurate. 30% did not. Now, almost half of the Cuban population in Florida did vote for Donald Trump, but if you take a look at the state of Texas, you'll find that 86% voted for Hillary, which in my view, the Democratic Party needs to hone in on the Southwest and own it, and not rely too much on the state of Florida.
I think because the reason why most Latinos in Florida voted for Trump is because the election isn't just based off immigration. There's other things going on in our country that should be focused on as well as not just immigration, where like most Latinos are worried about immigration and, you know, papers and stuff like that. Like there's other things that should be worked on
And
in this country as a
in the
citizen.
South, jobs were the big factor.
But going back to your point, obviously for Mexicans and people that cross the border and migrate, immigration is an issue. But for Cubans who've gotten some sort of asylum,
Right.
it's not. However,
That's why
I
it was
kind
the
of-
percentage
but-
that it was.
But I vaguely remember reading something that Donald Trump is going to stop Cuban immigration to the United States.
Cuban
So-
amnesty.
Well,
Cuban amnesty.
I mean,
so
honestly,
maybe
as a
it's something
Cuban
they should have paid attention
born in
to.
Cuba, I don't see anything wrong with that, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know, it's not about being Cuban or being Mexican or being anything. I think that when you come to this country, like, welfare and all this stuff is taken out of a citizen's taxes. And even whether you're Cuban, even Cubans need to come here and get a job and work hard, you know? Like, I understand everybody needs a little help and stuff, but
you know, there is a difference between Cubans coming and Mexicans
yeah,
coming.
we have
total
kind
difference.
Of, yeah.
And I feel that sometimes the Cubans they can't even relate, because they were said, here, you can come. They were given a pass.
But I was just saying off what she's saying, that he might stop the Cuban immigration. That's fine, you know, because even as a Cuban, you need to come here and work just like a Mexican comes here and fights for it. You know, it's just being fair, right?
It should be equal.
So it's not about like being Cuban or being Mexican. It's just, if he stops the immigration from Cuba, I'm not saying, you know, it's okay, but I mean, it's only fair.
Yeah, but okay, we're all, I mean, I know I was upset because I was a Hillary supporter, but let's move on. We have who we have.
Right, we gotta
I don't
deal
know
with
about, you know, like, how are we going to deal with it? Going from here forward.
And what
how are
could
gonna
we
deal with
do
it?
to feel empowered? Because I kind of feel like someone up there made a decision, and we need to feel like if that's not the decision we wanted to, we can still do something
What
about
can we do?
feeling empowered, right?
From your point of view, that
Right.
you're so much more involved in politics, and that there's movements. I mean, there's that woman march on January 21st on
Million
Inauguration
Women
Day.
March, right.
Well, it doesn't say million, because we
Women
expect
Million
more.
March.
We expect more than a million, I think. Because I saw it. I didn't see million.
Oh.
I don't know if that said million.
Used
but
to be, but they changed it.
They changed it, right? Because I think there's going to be more than a million.
That would be nice.
But I would like to do that if I could get myself to Washington. But there's other things that people are doing that you know of.
Start by going to change.org and sign the petition for the electors to support the popular vote. Hillary Clinton has won the popular vote. Second thing is to contact our lawmakers and have them, you know, continue to conduct an investigation on how Russia has hacked into the Democratic National Committee. The NSA chief just came forward today saying that, yes, they have confirmation that the Russians hacked into the system. The third thing is to galvanize ourselves with the minority groups, women, LGBT, Muslims, blacks, browns, you name it, broaden our coalition. Another thing we should think about, possibly if we can pull it off, and Dolores Huerta would be instrumental, is sort of using the film Day Without a Mexican as an inspiration, and to try to conduct this boycott, whether if you're working at the airports, the restaurants, the hotels.
That's already been put out there on Facebook. So we
Right.
got to jump on that.
So
if we're not here tomorrow, then that's why.
we can empower ourselves. We can do this,
Okay.
and we don't quit.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you
thank you
so
so much.
much.
So, if you want to catch up on your politics, make sure you check out Dee on Facebook, Dee.Blaze. And now our next guest has a very important message for you. Don't put off your diet until January. Start thinking smart now so that you won't gain all those pounds. And if you do, he's going to give you some exercises. So stay tuned for our next guest, Abe Cruz.
Welcome back to The Trend, and if you're stressed out about politics or all the tamales that you're going to be eating for the holiday seasons, fret no more. We have celebrity trainer and personality Abe Cruz, whose inspirational story from bringing himself up from the bootstraps to becoming what he is now has been really taking over social media, because you have the mindset of a champion, and that's pretty much your mantra and your philosophy, right?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I do appreciate it. Yeah, the mindset of a champion. You know, I started at a low place in life, made some mistakes, and I was able to kind of turn that negative into a positive and just move forward. At the end of the day, we only have ourselves and God, and we just got to bounce back.
And when you say you hit rock bottom, we're talking real rock bottom. I mean, you were in prison.
I was in prison, made some big mistakes, and it cost me 3.5 years of my life. I went away at 25 and got out 29.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you have your own company called Forever Faith.
I have my own company. It's called Forever Faith. The tagline is Mindset of Champions. I started the company from prison. When pretty much everybody lost all hope and faith in me, I couldn't allow that, so I created and developed the brand from prison.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
And
Thank
look
you.
at you now.
I'm working.
All right, so Elizabeth, I know that you wanted to ask him something about his abs.
I want to know. Well, first of all, I have to see your abs. I want to make sure they're not photoshopped.
She was saying that they were photoshopped.
Yeah,
That's
I thought they were
said.
photoshopped.
No.
So can we see?
Sure.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Right there.
Oh, my God.
I'm blushing.
But okay, so we want to look like that.
Yeah.
Or we want to have Elizabeth's booty, and she works out like 3 times a week.
It's hard work.
How
It's
can
hard
we
work.
start
It's
at
hard
least to
work.
start getting
well,
that?
well, the first thing I'm going to say is it's all about eating better. Okay, it's not about limiting your food. It's about eating better and working out. Bottom line. So obviously, I came on the show. Were you gonna say something?
I have a question.
Yes.
What keeps you motivated in working out? Because that's why I only work out 3 times a week. Because it's hard to like get yourself in the gym.
Right.
Well, every time that you see a little bit of progress, that is fuel to keep pushing and keep going because you're gonna get better and better.
But see, that's the trick, is that a lot of us start our diet, and if we don't see progress in a week or 2, we're like, okay, this isn't working. So give us something we can do that we can actually see something.
Okay, so life is about patience and understanding, and we learned that once we hit the ground, okay? So that's where I get it from. But I came in, I'm gonna show you guys a few workouts.
Okay.
We're gonna get into some squat punches. Okay, real simple, real easy. You can step up with me.
my things
Yeah.
down.
Okay, now
Squat punches. What is this workout?
a squat punch is going to get our glutes, which is our butt, our nalgas. Can we say that on TV?
Yes, nalgas.
Los nalguitas.
Pompis.
Okay, so we're gonna get a squat and we're gonna punch, okay? So we're all Latin, so we should have some rhythm.
Okay.
So we're gonna come down, squat, left,
Left,
right.
right.
Okay, up, squat, left, right. There we go, here we go, one more time. Squat, left, right. That's a sample, that's real easy.
You also get it here.
That's only 3 reps we did. You should feel it in your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes. Okay. Now, as you get better and better, eventually you can use some dumbbells, 1-pounders, 2-pounders, 3s. Get your shoulders involved, your back, and you keep working. Okay.
right.
This is what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna use this ball. We're gonna work on our waistline over here. Okay. So we're gonna hold this. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. You guys are gonna do squat jumping jacks now. Okay. You know a squat jumping jack. So you don't have to go down all the way. Some people have bad knees or bad backs, so we do a simple squat, jumping jack. Squat, jumping jack. You can get as low as you can if you can. All right.
So this is still working the butt?
All day, every day. Todas las mujeres, they need that, right?
There
There you go.
Like this?
Yep.
And then up.
Up. Bring it. There you go.
Like this.
And up.
Think of all
Good.
those tamales you'll be able to eat.
There, just jump in with it. You guys just
Ready?
now we're gonna twist.
Okay.
So we're gonna start here.
All right.
Twist. Boom. All the way around. There you go. Waistline. Get that butt down, ladies.
Woo!
Get the butt down.
Wait, am I doing this right? Like this.
Wow.
There you go.
Like this.
Stop. Boom. Now we're gonna rotate. We give them the
Rotate.
ball.
All right.
Up.
Rotate.
Okay.
Now you guys do that. Now we're gonna do our jump squat.
Okay.
So let's make
You
sure they're
need to
going
get
good.
Okay, ready? To the front first. Ready? And.
There you go. Twist. Use the waistline. Good. Good. Now, here we go. We're over here. We're going to squat, up.
So you say we're
Jumping
supposed
jacks.
to stop at any time to keep our heart rate going?
No, there's no need to. We're not running a marathon right now.
Okay.
This is your breathing. Make sure you're breathing in through your nose and out
but
through your
you-
mouth.
We already worked too hard. You guys keep working. Start working so we can. Ready?
So we're going to squat, okay? Squat, jumping jack. Right back down.
Think
Squat,
smaller weight.
jumping jack. There we go. There we go. There we go. Rhythm down. Right fast. Pick it up. You can drop your butt to get lower, to feel a little bit deeper. There you go.
I don't.
Okay,
scared I'm
when
gonna
am I
fall
losing
back.
an inch? When
Yeah, I think you're losing them as we're working. Okay, now rotate the other way. Back the other way. Okay. Other way. There you go.
So I have a question because we teased you on our Facebook page on the Trend Talk on Facebook, and we asked all the ladies and men to ask their question. And Maria Jimenez said that she hurt her back. So what can she do exercise-wise when you have a hurt back?
Well, obviously, I don't know how serious her injury is, but right off the bat, I would tell you to not run into the gym and start working out. I would tell you to slow it down, take your time, figure out what's wrong with you, and most likely I'd get you on a bicycle with back support. We don't want to work too hard. What does the question say?
Oh my God, it's a paragraph. We'll have to log on to Facebook to read the entire question.
I will go on there. What's her name?
Maria Jimenez.
I will go on there, Maria, and I will answer your question thoroughly. I'll make sure I read the whole thing.
Next one, Carmen Gotcher D. Turk says, what does it take to get a body like the one you have? Give us some food samples. Because food, is it true that food is more important than exercise as far as to getting the body you want?
80% of your look is nutrition in your food, yes.
Yeah, they say
So
abs are made in the kitchen.
abs are made in the kitchen. That's anything that's green is lean. Remember that, green is lean. Egg whites, chicken, fish, salmon, all of these are sources of protein that allow our body to be fed and eat away at the body fat.
I have a question. What if you're vegan? What are some things you would recommend?
There's a lot of different proteins that you can include, but the point is getting enough protein. And I know a lot of people, when they decide they are vegan and they want to stay away from meats and the chickens, they think that they're limited.
Okay.
And they're not. They just need to go out and find the different protein sources and eggs and powders to be able to substitute for that.
Okay, I need you to put me on a regimen. I need to lose a lot of pounds.
Me too.
Hawaii?
You too?
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
We're going to Hawaii.
We're going to Hawaii.
I just need to lose. I'm not going to Hawaii. I'm staying home. It's more dangerous because there's more food around.
You know, the holidays are here, so I'm not going to tell everyone stop eating. We're going to enjoy our food. Everyone's Latino, we're all Latinos, so we're all going to enjoy our tamales and pan y dulce y todo eso, pero, you know, we still have to be able to work out each and every day. Get up, even if that means getting up earlier than you normally do to get your 20, 30 minutes of workout in, you'll be able to get it.
Right. I always have trouble with breakfast because I don't really like yogurt, I don't like oatmeal, I don't like making eggs, I don't like shakes. What can I eat?
Oh man, you know, at the end of the day, it really comes down to the mindset. What is it that you really want?
But you know what?
It's hard to make money, right? It's hard to make money.
But I just had a light bulb moment.
What was that?
I don't necessarily like breakfast food, but I can have lunch at breakfast.
Absolutely.
Meaning I can have chicken at breakfast or salmon or tuna at breakfast. Hey, I
We're
answered
so
my own
conditioned to eat
To
breakfast.
follow. We're so
Yeah.
conditioned to follow what society tells us.
yeah.
Breakfast, you eat your eggs and your oatmeal. But, I mean, you can have steak and eggs.
Now, do you agree that breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Like, as far as
Every
burning?
meal is important.
Okay.
But yes, what the stigma behind that is kickstarting your metabolism, getting the body rolling. So if you get out of bed and you're starving, that's going to hurt you throughout the day. And then your metabolism, that fire that's burning, you're not feeding the fuel to continue to burn calories.
So let me just go to the outfits, okay? Yours is Forever Faith. This is your clothing line. Where can we find your clothing line and your videos and everything?
Well, you can find me at abecruz.com. That's my website. Foreverfaith.com is my business website. At Mr. AJ Cruz is all my social media platforms. And you'll find all the information.
And you will be back with us, right? You can come back periodically and look at how we're doing because you're going to give us a challenge.
I'm going to put you guys all on some strict regimens.
Oh wow! And we're gonna let's promise to put this all on Facebook on
And
the
let's-
TREND
can we ask
talk
the-
show.
Yeah, can we ask our viewers to also join and they can
Absolutely.
send pictures in it
Absolutely.
before?
Like a 1 month challenge
That's an
before and
incredible,
after.
yeah, I mean, everybody, we encourage you guys to absolutely keep progress. So what does that mean? Take photos.
Yes,
before
now,
photos,
before.
now photos.
Okay, here's my photo. Look at that.
There it
Oh,
is. Let's
dang.
get
I
our-
need to
our
be like
viewers.
this. Like, cut off that.
There's no such thing as not improving. We can always continue to move forward. So, you know, definitely take your photos for before, and then we move on to our afters later down the line.
All right, guys, you know, if you want to join the challenge, the Abe Cruz Challenge on TheTREND,
The
just
Trend.
take a picture, put it on Facebook, on our Facebook, the Trend Talk Show, and then we'll take it from there. We
Make
can
sure
show
you
your
tag us
pictures.
on everything. We want to see the progress.
Yes.
All right, cool.
All right.
So thank you so much for being on our very first The Trend talk show.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
So inspirational. So why don't we kind of do something so we can get finish off our first episode with some booty exercises or something like.
Well, let's get the squats in. That gets your body.
Can I
that
use
gets-
this?
Hey, guys,
Absolutely.
join in, guys. Join in
Yeah,
if you're
join
there.
in.
This is your first
Where's
exercise.
Jen out there? Let's get
Join
Jen out
us.
there.
Jen, let's get our
This is everybody.
crew.
Let's get our crew in there.
Yes.
all right?
No,
All right,
they're
guys.
not coming.
So we're gonna squat, left, right, punch, and you same thing with you. You're gonna double punch because you got the ball. So back, okay? So 3, 2, 1, squat. Squat,
Squat,
left,
left,
right. Boom. Squat,
Left,
right. Squat, left, right. There we go. Squat, left.
Okay, as we wave away. Make sure you come back to our next show. Find us on Facebook. We'll tell you where you can watch the show. It's coming. We'll let you know. And we're going to have a lot of wonderful new guests. And look at her. She's
working.
So thank you very much. And remember, #FollowTheTrend.
Follow the trend.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.